Good morning. Well, okay. Just done my day 3 or day 4, I'm not sure, of the Athame ritual candle magic meditation-y thingy around the power to surrender. Yeah. So first of all, who out there is doing this with me? I'd like to know who's out there doing this with me. If you're doing it right now, keep doing it. Challenges that come up. Yes, definitely. Because I hadn't even wiped the sleep out of my eyes, and I'm like, because I've been yesterday and today, excuse me, scratching my head. Yesterday and today, it was the second thing I did after I got out of bed. The first thing I always do is do the washing up, because I hate it, so I'll do it first. So I was still very blurry, and challenge was my mind's going along, and it's good, I've got this, and then all of a sudden it goes, oh, what's that over there? It runs off like a little 4-year-old. It's like, no, come back. But one of the things that came up in the little diversion that it took was do a Facebook Live and get people talking about it. So, okay. So that was more of a plop than a diversion, but it was still a diversion. For any of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about plops, I'm not talking about sitting on the toilet. I'm talking about downloads, because to me it feels like they just plop into my head. That's why I call them plops. And it keeps it light as well, you know. Don't take yourself too seriously. Life isn't meant to be like that. So yeah, challenges that come up. So that was a little challenge that I had this morning. My mind running off into the woods, going la 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 la. So yeah, so bringing that back, which, you know, it doesn't. I don't think it matters how many years you've been meditating. You know, that can still happen. So just gently bring it back. Don't chastise the little child. Just gently bring it back, and yeah, refocus. And then there was Henry asking me if I wanted to do toast, and he'd taken the dog out, so he's expecting an answer, and luckily Ian was sat here, so he put paid to that. So there's always things that come up when you're doing this kind of work, you know, family, you know, pets, itchy noses, which is something I used to get a lot. I don't get that so much anymore. My body is it doesn't mind sitting still now. It used to fight against it like, oh my God, like it was the worst thing ever. So all of this is the surrender. Yeah. So your mind is, you know, in that process of surrendering. When you're doing this, when you're doing any kind of meditation, your mind is in the process of surrendering, and it will fight. Normally it will give a little fight. Yeah. Some people experience that more than others. There's no one size fits all. Yeah. So stick with it. And the fact that you've got, I mean, I'm burning incense as well. I'm burning all manner of fire incense here, because when I cleared out my cupboards the other day, I had little pots full of fire incense, and there's some fire deity incense. So I thought, oh, I'll burn that. Not wasted it. So I'm burning incense, you know, and you've got a focus. Your candle is your focus for this meditation. So it's a lot easier to bring it back to that place of, so I keep looking at my candle because I've got something amazing that was in it today. it can easily bring you back to that place of focus. So when I was watching the wax, it's like, yeah. So places where you can find that surrender, obviously nature. Nature is a big teacher for us, yeah, for anyone, but especially for, you know, witchy folk, because she's always surrendering. You know, even when they cut down trees, you know, and build substandard housing on the top of where those trees used to be, nature has surrendered. And what is interesting, is that after a little while, if the weeds aren't cut back, that man-made stuff surrenders, and nature comes back. If there would be a huge surrender of man-made stuff, if there was a television series on. They stopped it after about 2 series because I think it was getting a little bit too close to the truth. Where it was, what was it to do with? It was to do with all the anything electrical being knocked out, and it turned out that it was orchestrated, by government, but it was supposed to be some kind of natural disaster. And what I found fascinating about that is that within not very long at all, maybe 2-5 years, where man had built his roads and all that gubbins, nature was coming back. It was already back, it was already back, and it doesn't take long. You've only got to look at, when they clear an area to build on, and then they leave it for a few years, it's all of a sudden there's a forest in there. It's amazing. It truly is amazing. Nature is incredible, and as much as it teaches surrender, it teaches trust as well. That there is a power out there, which we are that power, but it is also at the same time, it's so much bigger than we are. We are it, but it is bigger than we are. I'm just turning into a bit of philosophical discussion this one. Oh my God. And when you see things like trees cut down, or our little woodland that we've got, it's about a 5-minute walk down the road. It's called the Enchanted Woods, and it's actually they can't flatten it and build on it because it was a smallpox cemetery, so they can't touch it. So there's this amazing woodland that's grown there. It's only, I don't even think it's an acre. I think it's about half an acre of woodland, but it's beautiful. But a few weeks ago, myself and Ian were walking back from the town, and we see all this smoke. And I said to him, that's where the wood is. Oh, no. So we've avoided it for a little while because we didn't want to go down there because it was, we didn't want to see the devastation. But luckily, I think there were 4 trees, right? It wasn't in the woods, thankfully, because that would have been devastating. It's right at the front of the woods where there's a path that goes down by the side of it. And there's 4 small trees that have been affected. But we know they've still got roots. We know that there will be new growth on those trees. It might take a little while, but there will be new growth because that's how powerful nature is. Anyway, so it's surrender. Nature surrenders, but also things surrender to nature. So it's a cyclical thing. It's a symbiosis. So there has to be surrender for growth. There has to be. You can grow in restriction, but it's not a very pleasant experience because it doesn't allow you to grow. Literally. So when I was watching the candle this morning, there are lots of things happening. It's quite complex actually, because you light the candle, so the wick is surrendering to the fire, so it is burning. which then melts the wax. So the wax has to, it's symbiosis, yeah, symbiosis, I love it. So the wax has to melt to go up the wick to keep the fire going. But then, so there's a surrender of the wax, there's a surrender of the wick, and there's even a surrender of the fire, because the flame is where I've got the window open. There's a little bit of a breeze. The flame is dancing around. So it's an all-round surrender. It is amazing. Yeah? Truly, truly amazing. And when you watch that, you realise how much of a fight we put up. Oh my God. Yeah, if that candle put up a fight, it wouldn't light. It wouldn't light. The wax wouldn't melt. The wick wouldn't burn. And the flame would blow out. Yeah. Simple. Yeah. So for me, it's absolutely fascinating. And I got a kiss in the wick. Ooh, okay. Ooh, there, like that. It went like that. The wick, I don't know how it did it. It kind of like bent over and done something weird. I did try and take a photo of it, but it wouldn't let me. I couldn't actually see the wick in the flame with my camera. It wouldn't do it. It's amazing how the eyes are so intelligent. Brain, eyes together, they're intelligent. Yeah. Because it was, and that was just like, this was after I got all these plops. Yeah. So it sealed it with a kiss. It was amazing. Truly, truly amazing. So why do we put up so much of a struggle? Why do we struggle? And there are times when we don't. That's the weird thing. It's not like we're always struggling against something that we really could do with surrendering to. It's particular things, yeah, that trigger us. And make us, just, I don't know, roar at the world. And you dig your heels in and you go, no. But there will always be a point of surrender. Myself and Ian were talking about this yesterday. We actually got the framework together for our big course yesterday, which is quite exciting. That's the one that's based around, it's based around a more occult kind of way of thinking, unraveling, whatever you want to call that. So it's looking at things from completely different perspective, from what we are conditioned to look at the world. Yeah. I love flipping things on their head. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult, but I'm not surrendering. It is difficult. It's challenging when that stuff comes up and you go, argh! And you go down the rabbit hole. Sometimes you need to go down the rabbit hole to find things out and to learn about yourself. But sometimes that's not productive. So we were talking about healing, self-healing, yeah, and about, actually no, it was more around downloads, although it does apply to self-healing as well, because I've healed myself with many things, and there comes a point where you resist. So that could be, and the classic example is someone says to you, oh, who was that blah blah that was in that film blah blah, and you go, and you spend about 10 minutes going, oh God, I can't remember his name, so you're resisting, you're not surrendering, yeah, and then you go, oh, do you know what, I can't be bothered, and then 4 hours later you're sitting on the toilet and you get the download because you surrendered, yeah, you let it go, yeah, you surrendered, which is when you get the downloads. and it's also where you get healing. Yeah. I'm only did a little tiny bit on that because our free 3-lesson course is also coming up shortly. When I have had, and it's usually around some kind of pain that I can't manage or is affecting my quality of life. For example, last year we'd gone away camping. It was our first camping trip of the year. No problems. Towards the end of it, I was getting a little bit of my wisdom tooth was moving. I could feel it. I've still got them. I have not had them taken out. I refuse to have them taken out. And it was a little bit painful on the last day, but it was manageable. And over the next couple of 3 days, pain got really bad, and I couldn't open my mouth. I could open it like that, and that was it. I could not open my mouth any further. So eating was a challenge. It took me about 2 hours to eat my dinner every night, and I got totally fed up with it. Yeah, and I was using, I was doing healing on it, salty sock on it, tuning forks on it, anything I could use on it, I was using on it. Which was all great, and it took the edge off, but I still couldn't open my mouth properly. Yeah, just that's not good. So it got to the point where I got so annoyed with it that I went into almost like a trance state. I thought I was going to sleep. I thought no, I'm going to sleep. I can't deal with this. I'm going to have a nap. But I didn't nap. I went into a meditative state completely randomly, yeah. But whilst I was in there, I had a look at what it was and what my wisdom tooth was doing. Where it was moving, it was knocking my other back tooth, yeah, which was creating it was almost like a battle in my mouth. So I told it that if you want to move, that's fine, but grow straight. If you're coming out, then grow straight and leave my other teeth alone. Pain went like that. And it hasn't been back either. It's doing as it's told. So in that moment where I went, argh, and then I surrendered, came the healing. Yeah. So it's really important, and it's also, not important because, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. I choose to, as much as I can, unless I'm fighting it, because none of us perfect. No one is. I don't care who you are. None of you are perfect. None of us. Nobody is perfect. So there'll be times when, I will fight. Sometimes you have to fight things. Other times, I'd say most of the time, there is a surrender going on, as in nature. So I'd like you to share your stories and ideas around why we struggle so much on this particular issue. Because believe me, when you follow the breadcrumbs, I've been using that a lot, follow the breadcrumbs, when you are listening to the wisdom of your body, yeah, and you're being guided by your intuition, amazing things can happen, yeah. And although I have a structure, it used to be quite a rigid structure up until just a couple of weeks ago. In fact, no, when we went away camping, that was when I broke that, because I was getting very rigid in my structure of my days and the work I was doing. So now I have a structure, but it's not rigid anymore. Yeah, I follow the breadcrumbs, or as the other plop I got the other day is follow the clues. Yeah, follow the clues. Yeah, and you get to experience your days in completely amazing ways. Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to start a discussion off here. Comments, please. around surrender, you know. And I know there are some of you in the group who, you know, have surrendered to things and manifested amazing stuff. So share your stories, yeah, because in the sharing of our stories, we inspire others to do the same, yeah. And I think it, like I say, it's an important message, but if you don't want to listen to it, then you don't have to. It's not mandatory. But I would like to get a conversation going here, yeah, around surrender, why we find it so difficult, why we fight it, but then what has happened when you have surrendered, yeah? What amazing things have come about when you have actually, you know, just gone, oh my God. And then, you know, gone down the river in your boat, not steering it like a crazy person. Yeah? Okay. So, I'll be back a bit later in the group. And also, if you're doing the Athame candle magic ritual meditation thingy for this waning moon, yeah? So I'd like to know who's doing it with me as well. Okay. Have an amazing day. Cheers. Live long and prosper.